Hello guys, today I'm going to be reacting to some stuff since I'm kind of bored and so I don't want to be by myself doing anything. So, but maybe we can react to this thing. Hold on, let me point it out for you. This thing right here. I know I watched it a bit, but I haven't watched it all, so let me just, so we can all get through that together, so yeah.
Oh God, how did I let you guys drag me to a New Year's Eve party? I don't even like planning for New Year's. In fact, nowhere on my to-do list does it say to get torn with the kids before 2019 drops.
Why are you complaining? We thought you liked parties.
Hermits who animate in their underwear don't exactly party hard.
Cheer up. It's probably going to be more fun than you think. Let's see this party as your first introduction to 2019.
Oh God.
Where do you think you're going? Get back here.
Come back,
Yeah, I don't have a good segue for this, so... Hey, bedheads! Happy super late New Year! But for real, guys, I haven't been to a whole lot of parties in my 24 years of existing. If you take birthday parties out of the equation, I've really only been to one stereotypical party in my entire life. I'm talking about the cheap kind of basement parties you see in movies. A party that did, in fact, take place on New Year's Eve exactly 6 years ago. God, I feel old. And for the sake of not giving anything else away, we're gonna channel our inner Philly D and let's just jump into it. So it was 2012 and one of my real good buddies, we'll call her Publius. It's an inside joke. Yeah, so Publius had randomly approached me asking if I could attend her family's New Year's Eve party. Now, I wasn't all that social in high school. I had never really been to a real party before. Shock of all shocks, I know. But I wasn't even sure how keen I was on going to this one since I had a vague idea of what teen parties could be like. And I wasn't having none of that, okay? My body is a temple.
Praise Jesus.
But she told me it really wouldn't be all that wild. It was primarily family coming over, friends of family, and, of course, some mutual friends of ours. And what you guys don't know is that my own family didn't celebrate New Year's. Still don't. But I used that fact against my better judgment by reminding myself that, hey, you don't really have anything better to do, so why not? Couldn't hurt, right? And so I accepted, got my mom to agree, which was a miracle, and that night I was off. And let me tell you, the atmosphere that they had going on when I walked in was so pleasant. Friends and family gathered together in one place. The adults chatting over drinks, the kids playing games. It was really nice. Man, I didn't even realize how nervous I'd been about the party until I felt those very nerves wash away. Like, wow, this is what we were worried about?
Oh no, not small talk.
Look at this dude. Look at this little bit. No. Daddy demonetization. Stay back. Bobby pavement. Ow. Okay, moving on. So I see my friend. Look at this dude. Little bit. No. Daddy demonetization. Stay back. Bobby pavement. Ow. Okay, moving on. So I see my friends in the other room. We chat a bit, laugh, yada yada. And I tell Publius that the party seemed really nice, and that I was happy to be invited. Might be a little weird, adjusting to all would literally change the entire course of that peaceful night. This isn't our party, actually. Ours is downstairs, in the basement. Yo, y'all ever feel so anxious that your butt cheeks clench into your crack? Like what? Yeah, see, I subscribed for wholesome content tonight, so I'ma just, don't mind me, I'm just... Guys, she took us to this basement door, and I didn't even have to walk through it to know that this was a mistake. The party music was just barely being contained through the door, and I was catching a waft of the familiar scent that was, the sin spinach. You feel? This was by no means a party that I wanted to attend, and yet when I saw all my friends go, I knew I'd have to follow if I didn't want to be left behind. And no sooner than when we opened the door... Yeah. Somehow, I stepped into a really generic teen movie. It had everything. Dimly lit basement, one guy getting high in the corner while the others were smoking some cigs, obnoxiously loud music with bass heavier than my college debts, girls and guys grinding all up on each other's ugly ditties, and of course, alcohol. It was everything that I predicted teen parties to be, and it's exactly why I hadn't wanted to go in the first place. I was way out of my element, and I could not make it work for the life of me. All my friends had gone to the back to indulge in the naughty no-no that is underage drinking, while my lonely rump was off in the corner, avoiding some flirty comments like, "Man, that is some good water. Here, dude, have some. You're looking a little thirsty." Genuinely, there isn't that much story in this room. All my pals wanted to do was drink, and I didn't give myself the chance to be a part of any of that. Though, one thing I really did enjoy was the disgusted look on my friend Ivana's face when she chugged a sinful mixture of cotton candy vodka, tequila, and thirsty. Genuinely, there isn't that much story in this room. And Hawaiian Punch.
But PJ, if nothing happened, why mention it?
Trust me, this is important to the story. Now, eventually, I had been given some mercy. 2013 was coming in quick, and Publius's mom was calling us all upstairs to take part in the countdown. We moved the party to the living room, and nearly everyone's eyes were glued to the countdown on TV. I, however, being someone who never really celebrated before, couldn't find much interest in it. Instead, I took that time to glance over to my right, where Ivana had been standing away from me, and I couldn't help but notice that she looked off. She had this weird slump and fumble to her step, like she couldn't exactly keep steady. And as I noticed it, she started sauntering on over to me with this hazy, glossy look in her eyes, giggling away at seemingly nothing in particular, with a fresh cup of God only knows what, half drunk in her hand. This was oh crap moment numero uno. So she keeps on walking, she's still giggling, and she sluggishly placed a hand on my shoulder, muttering my name as if to get crap. Without a second thought, Ivana leapt out of bed and made a mad dash for the bathroom. My pals obviously noticed this and start shooting each other some very confused looks, and I'm trying to tell them what's about to happen, but oh no, I guess mouth machine broke because I could not English. Luckily, given the pretty obvious circumstances of that night, they were able to piece it together on their own rather quickly, and good thing, because this girl was dipping back inside the room with a hand over her mouth. She couldn't explain herself too well, but from what we gathered, someone was already in the bathroom and wouldn't let her inside for nothing. A proper deuce, I imagine. So she came back inside looking for a trash bin, a plastic bag, anything would do at this point. But we couldn't find diddly. Our friends are freaking out. I'm still frozen playing cameraman. Publius is looking for anything that will save her carpet, and poor Ivana is on the brink of tasting the worst cocktail ever for a second time that night. But then, we all saw it. A small trash bin just off to the corner on the other side of the room. Publius dove for it, reaching out to grab it as quickly as she could. But it was too late. The second she got a hold of the trash bin, Ivana warned that she couldn't keep it in any longer. Her body trembled, her hand shifted, and in a flash, the Force awakened. missed, but just barely. Legit, a few seconds quicker and she totally would have got it. I was kind of impressed, actually.
Was a mistake. Yeah, that's how we're gonna start my origin story. My dad first met my mom in college, and from what he tells me, it was love at first sight. But well. My mom had a crush on my dad's friend. My dad said he would help her with her crush because they were really close friends. But somehow, he finessed his way to my mama's heart. So he says. One night, while they were on the phone, my dad ended up asking my mom to be his girlfriend. Ooh, I know. And according to my mom, she was half asleep, and in the morning, when she woke up on Christmas Day, she magically had a boyfriend. My dad would wait hours and hours just so he could see her. He traveled 6 whole hours during a flood to pick her up from school, just to find out that she was already gone because iPhones didn't exist yet. He was her Prince Charming, and they were madly in love. I didn't get notified, so I showed up to their fairy tale uninvited. I was obviously unplanned and just a big old oopsie, but even though I was a mistake that was hidden from the world, my parents loved me unconditionally. You can even say I was a lovable mistake. My mom continued going to school, and my dad decided to drop out to take care of little old me. He'd spend every day hiding from the world because having a kid while you're unmarried and still in school sadly makes you a disappointment, at least in the Filipino culture, especially around. Having a kid at such a young age was aunts, on the other hand, would gush about how rich John was, unlike my dad, and how John was the better choice. My mom's family didn't think my dad was good enough for my mom. It sucks, but that's the reality of it. My dad ended up going out with this girl, and we'll call her the Wicked of the West. Alright, fine. We'll call her Jasmine with this girl, and we'll call her the Wicked of the West. Alright, fine. We'll call her Jasmine. I didn't like her at all. She was always so mean to me, and she just hated it whenever I was around. She would pinch my arms really hard if I did something she didn't like. She would lock me out for hours whenever my dad wasn't around, and my grandma would find me crying and knocking at the door. Grams even tried to break them up, but Jasmine was a great liar. Every time my dad was around, she would treat me as if I was her own child. Let me tell you, this girl deserves an Oscar because sometimes I even thought that she liked me. She did everything and anything to her abilities to be with my dad. One day, me, my dad, and the lovely Jasmine visited one of my dad's old school friends. They had a pool in a dang jacuzzi. I absolutely love swimming. Can I actually swim, though? No, not at all. But slap on one of those arm floaties and I could swim for days. I remember swimming the whole entire day, grabbing onto the edge of the pool, eyes red from chlorine, fingers looking like raisins. I was one with the water. When it was getting a little late and chilly, it was time to be boiled into a stew in the jacuzzi. Me, my dad, and Jasmine were all sitting in the jacuzzi. My dad and I were playing a game on who could hold their breath the longest under the water. It was one of my favorite games for one reason and one reason alone. My mom recently got me a super cool blue watch that was waterproof. I could figure out how I could hold my breath underwater. I was never really able to go past a minute, and my dad would always win. Honestly, I think he cheated, but I was a little too occupied with my light-up watch. How else will I light up the darkness if I didn't have a cool watch that glows green? My dad had to go use the bathroom, and it was just me and Jasmine. I was trying to show her my cool watch because every time it told me my future, there would be a super cute pixelated cat that would show up. It's like having a fortune cookie on your arms.
Hey, I'm really good at that game. Do you want to see who can hold their breath longer?
I dislike Jasmine with a burning passion, but yeah! Okay, ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3. I was holding my breath, and honestly, I thought I was gonna win. I had this in the bag. I was technically a fish with a watch at this point. Except, I felt Jasmine's hand on my head, and she started pushing down. She wouldn't let me go back up, and I started panicking. My watch lied to me. No, Mr. Cat, I am definitely not having a good day, and my lucky number is definitely not 24.
I was just trying to help her break her record.
Lies! You didn't really want to see my watch, didn't you?